Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 4,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 110 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
You got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. And with me, I have, besides maybe Tiffany, Floyd, and Amy, the world's #1 all-elite wrestling fan, Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just watched this show last night and excited to talk about it today. And it was a banner evening for AEW last night. So new champ and, fun times, watching the show with everybody. So got lots to talk about here. So,
yeah. I think that you sleeping on Super Showdown, but we'll see. We'll get to it. We'll get into
it. Super what?
What a polar fucking opposite week. Like, Jesus Christ. And, it's so funny that,
it's like, this is not even the same sport. They're doing, I don't know what they're doing on that side, dude, but, Dude,
they... look, I think there is something, perversely interesting of, the cycle of, they're going to put out a bullshit show. They're only going just to take all that money. Nobody feels good about any, except, nobody on WWE side that isn't the devil feels good about anything involving these Saudi Arabia shows. They trash ass matches. Dudes coming out that are washed, they come out and get checks. The booking, it always fucks up, and more important stuff that involve the TV shows, whatever else. It's all the way just a bad idea. Everybody knows what they're getting to when they go into it, and yet and still, once that show starts running and you start seeing the reaction, you're just like, we knew that we were going into some bullshit. How did this turn in from bullshit to horse shit to cow shit to giraffe shit? It's just so funny to me. But
it's like Inception. The dreams are on one level, but it just keeps dropping to another level and another level lower and another level lower, and then eventually you can't wake up. Yeah.
It's we talked about when we went to New York for WrestleMania week last year, and full on, just as a person that's, taking in so much art and media from New York City, and knowing how claustrophobic those spaces can be, and how because people are so on top of each other, there's such a lack of personal space and humanity or whatever else at times. We all went to New York expecting some bullshit, right? And it was pleasantly, nice. Now, I talked to you about this a bunch of times. I'm not fooled into thinking that's how it's really going to go if I took my ass up there and lived there. It is not sweet up there. To me, it's imagine we were braced for the bullshit that week, and then like it was worse than we could even imagine while preparing for the bullshit. Like that's what these Saudi shows are. Just like whatever. But anyway,
let's get to the Fox shit first.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that at the end. We'll talk to that later. But that's just a brief little thing. But yeah, man, AEW Revolution, a card that in show that is like 1,000 times more creative and original and thoughtful than the name of the show. Revolution? Oh, okay. So you're like the 20th wrestling company to ever do that. But just general thoughts of the show before we get into it, match by match.
It felt like such a rewarding show. Looking at everything since January 1st and, you know, some of the stuff that was going on in December that I liked, like leading up to the show is like, there's an ultimate payoff. You know, from, you know, the title switching hands to the excellent tag match, even like MJF and Cody, like they gave us lots of great TV. The match didn't, you know, totally land for me, but, up and down as a presentation, it always feels big. It always feels large, feels important. And it feels like you're just watching, you know, people take the next step through their careers to become bigger stars, to, you know, just try to exist in their world. And they know exactly how the fans feel about them. It's the company trying to impress its fans, trying to work in unison with the fans to give them the best possible experiences. And it's like every time one of these AEW pay-per-views happen, it's like, it just feels like, you know, when we all used to gather around and enjoy WWE, like in 2016 and 15 and stuff like that. But like on a higher level almost, because like the booking's like, you know, for the most part impeccable. I was blown away and just had a lot of fun watching the show last night. And of course, like, you know, we'll get to the tag match, but yeah, from Orange Cassidy to, you know, just a lot of shit, just surprises. People coming out the woodwork to do great things.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of stuff you said. We're in a weird space where like between AEW and NXT to where like you have with AEW, their TV, especially of late, has been so good and plays off of the week-to-week stuff to build towards a destination. And maybe the destination is very, very good, but like that's not really the concern for the most part. That's really not a concern of AEW television. Where NXT is, they have to build themselves to destinations to go station to station, whether it's building up some, you know, takeover and a half as we talk about it, or building towards takeover, and then you get all the, you know, all the payoff and huge stuff from there. But they're doing it in two separate different ways and coming about it differently. But before the last 2 episodes of NXT, you're just like, every single week you're just like, I can't wait to watch this stuff. And I'm just happy to be a wrestling fan right now. Between NXT until the last couple weeks, AEW and Stardom, I'm just like, I just turn shit on to have faith that they're just going to like give me something that I'm just going to thoroughly enjoy. So until these last 2 weeks NXT, like I've been like super happy with everything I've been watching, like and following consistently. But yeah, just let's start from the top. The Haas fight. Dustin versus Jake Hager. What are your thoughts on the match?
So I was excited about this match coming into it. You know, I'm always a longtime fan of Dustin Rhodes, and I was interested to see what Hager would do. Turned out it was just okay. I checked the time on it after, you know, I was like looking at all the reviews for the show. So this match clocked in at 14:14.
Right.
It felt way longer. You know, I wouldn't have opened the show like that, but maybe, you know, something they wanted to try, like, you know, if you put it anywhere else on the show, maybe it doesn't work out even as good as that. Wasn't a fan of Dustin going up and kissing old girl. But Swagger or Hager was he seemed like he kind of had a new swag about him. Match wasn't like bad or anything. I think I gave it like 3.25. It was just like kind of there though. Like sometimes you need that, but Hager's wrestling at least now and still good.
Yeah. I don't know if the situation where they didn't want to make him too overpowered compared to Dustin, given that like who knows who's going to be between those two in Blood and Guts, or whatever the hell they're calling their upcoming War Games match. But to me, maybe it's because I have my mindset on like, all right, you've protected this dude, you've given him a mystique to an extent, like have him just go out there and kill the vet, and that wasn't that much of a that kind of match. They had a back and forth. I'm definitely don't like what the match was centered around with making, Swagger's wife get basically, fucking forced upon by the babyface of all fucking things. So like that also took me out of the match. But I mean, even just the work, it was just like a regular match that like I'm sure I've seen Swagger and Dustin have this match before. Yeah. Like some edition of Raw or main event when I was watching that shit back then. So,
but the people loved it. Like,
yeah, it started out because
that's the great X factor here. If this match happened anywhere else, it's like in reverse almost. Like, people be sitting on their hands, not caring. But all I wanted to see was some right hands in this match, and I got it. So, they didn't start with a lockup. Like, they didn't try to feel each other out. They were like, "No, I want the smoke. Like, come get it."
Yeah. So, I think Swagger's gonna have to maybe dig more into like the wrestling side, like whole submission specialist type thing, or he's gonna have to start hitting people hard. Like I don't know, he's gonna have to pick one or both. Yeah. But
just start throwing them around.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like there's a blueprint there. You can clearly take it. It's wide open for the taking.
Yeah.
Are you worried about him because they've got all these like big guys coming in? Like they're gonna have Luke Harper, essentially, like we know that's a done deal. Lance Archer's around. Brian Cage eventually will show up. Like in comparison to all of them, like I don't think he's that level. So
he's absolutely not. But I think the thing is, if he's just going to remain in this role as Jericho's heavy for the most part, then fine.
Yeah.
Like same thing with Wardlow. If Wardlow is just going to be MJF's heavy for a long time, fine. Like if that's your role, that's your role. Like he's more than qualified. They're both more than qualified to do that. But if you want to get them in the ring and have them go out there and work for 15 minutes like a match like this, like he's in there with Dustin. Ain't no excuses. So that's what he brings to the table, and that's he'd be a solid open and match type person. But don't get it fucked up. He could not have gone any deeper in that card with that level of match.
Yeah. But after that,
yeah. So then we end up getting Darby versus Guevara. Most of the match is before the actual bell rings. The best parts of the match, honestly, is before the bell ring. Guevara comes out, crowds booing the shit out of him. I kind of missed the Panda thing. Like, I think the Panda will, like, make people, like, hate him more, but whatever. Then out comes Darby. Darby does... What was the opening thing he did this time? I can't remember right now.
He was in the ring, and, the lens was black and white, of course. And he does, like, a middle rope moonsault and lands on a skateboard, and then the skateboard says Sammy on it, and then just shows it to the screen, and then all of a sudden he's coming out to his music and skating to the ring.
Yeah, come skating down the ramp. The ramp has been updated. They have gotten rid of that metal grate that Cody hard-weighed himself on at Full Gear. They also have LED'd the ramp, so they out here competing with the main roster now. Now they need to get the half pint for Darby, and then we'll be in there like Raw. So yeah, it comes down to the ring. Typical heel deal. Hill comes out first. They duck out the ring when the babyface makes their entrance. He's off in the corner, off to the side. Darby hits him before the lights even fully come up, while still with the big ass weird jacket he wears, the duster or whatever the hell it is, and just basically comes straight through with a tope through the top and middle rope and lays him out. Then they start doing a lot of high spot plundering.
Bro, like this brawl before the match was excellent.
Yes,
like,
it was. It was very good.
Yeah, like lots of big dives over and over again to each other until eventually like the tables get turned and Sammy G puts his man on the table. You already know what it is. Like,
yeah, once he put him on the table, I was like, he's not going. Like me and Zach were both like, he's not gonna. And then he does. He goes to the top rope and hits a 630 off the top rope to someone that's on a table on the floor, laying on the floor. That's one of the best spots of the year.
Yeah,
that's one of the best spots of the year.
Like this dude, like I jumped on the Sammy train and Darby train very early. This was just awesome to see these two dudes that don't give a fuck. And Sammy doing that is like, yo, I didn't even have to have because we saw him do it in the jacket and the jeans and the sneakers before. Now he's in the wrestling gear. This is easy for him. This is light. You know?
I would refrain from saying the word easy because like that shit had to hurt for both of them, but it was a hell of a spot. And then they get in the ring and then the bell rings.
Yeah. The bell rings, like immediate like huge kick from Sammy. Darby kicks out at 2 just when he thinks it's going to be a squash because Darby's just broken. And then they just do like a 5-minute little match.
Yep.
And it's just like in and out, and then like huge, like Darby's over at the end with the coffin drop, beats him clean. I loved it. The whole thing with this, I'm going to cheat and count the pre-match as well because I would if this was Jericho and Naito at Dominion. So I went 4 1/4 with this, and I was like, this is how you make stars. This is how like we know Sammy Guevara is a human highlight reel. He's gonna lose in 5 minutes, but like he's losing to that dude. Like, and I saw a tweet go out, and it was like Darby Allin getting the fuck out of Evolve, and the AEW was like a Will Ospreay level career decision. Like Will Ospreay going to New Japan, and it was like, yo, we might have AEW might have saved the guy. Like when I look at Darby Allin, like so over, just a superstar.
Yeah, I'm not as high on you. I give it like 3 3/4 to 4. I wanted, obviously, because Darby didn't get his full vengeance. Like he beat the dude, but like he wanted to hurt him, and then Hager came out and made the save. So like clearly there's more to come. So like sign me up for more. We talked about this with Pac and in Hangman. Like give me 2 mid-card dudes that are trying to gun for the top and have them fight each other on their way to like elevate themselves. This is the start of this.
And then Jungle Boy was spinning ringside too, so like he's probably like mixed in with them too. So
yeah, like we always talk about. Obviously, I'm not going to compare the two or try to make a comparison of this is what their career is going to lead to. But like, think of like those WCW cruiserweight matches in the mid '90s. Think of like Rock and Triple H in '98 as Austin is the top guys. Like we want to see people like gun for the top and their matches elevate them to that level, and this is what this is going to do. They already did the first step of it. It's going to continue. So, sign me up, and it's going to be fun to watch these two over the next, however many years we have them. Especially just knock on wood with Darby, man. Like somebody, I hope that somebody, like whether it's one of the big dudes making a lot of money, whether it's Darby or it's Jericho, especially like for a Christmas present or something, like they buy them dudes like ice tubs and like a 100-pound ice making machine, so they can be like, yeah, you put this in the house and then you put this in the bathroom somewhere, and then like you fill this up every single night, and then you get into it. Like we got to figure out
this is where you can sleep. Like
we got to figure out how to protect, how to keep these dudes, upright for the next 5 years.
Can't lose them.
Yeah. So next match after that, we end up getting Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus the Young Bucks AEW World Tag Match. In my estimation, it's the third best match of the year so far that I've seen. It's an incredible match, 5 stars. I mean, we could go through it piece by piece, but because we're not really going to talk about Dynamite from last Wednesday, because obviously we're talking about this show. We're going to go through like all the storytelling stuff that led to in the events that led to this from Dynamite. Pac and your boy. Pac and Omega go out there and have a 30-minute Iron Man match that was incredible.
Classical, like the spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, and you have it's pretty much like you get to see New Japan Kenny, basically, and that was awesome because like that's kind of what I signed up for. Like it's cool that he's doing the tag matches and he has. Really good match, but like I want to see I want to see this man in like a 20-25 minute match where he just gets to do his thing. And we got that here. And it was interesting that you had the Young Bucks out there, but not his tag partner, the Moody Prick Hangman, the drunken Moody Prick Hangman. But him and Pac are going like first 15 minutes are incredible. They do the dopey trope of a Iron Man match where somebody in the match at some point says, "Fuck this! I'm just going to cheat, take a fall by beating someone with a chair or a weapon, and then quickly get another fall." So it's 1-1, and then from there you just get, dude, I can't get over the super brain buster. I just can't get over that. But you end up getting to the point to where Pac has or Kenny dead to rights last 2.5 minutes. They're fighting in and out of Pac's finisher, the Brutalizer. Kenny survives. They restart the match. Pac has the advantage because he had that dude worn out. Kenny overcomes, hits him with a One Ring Angel, gets the win. And then it leads to the backstage promo interview sit down thing with the Bucks, Kenny, Hangman, and Ross, and what more or less you just see the tension building between all 4 parties, and really it's 3 parties. It's the Young Bucks. Well, really, it's the Young Bucks, and especially Matt getting pissed off at all the passive aggressive stuff that Hangman's been doing. You get Hangman saying, "I didn't even want to still be here. You've forced me, a grown adult man, to stay with you as a faction as friends." Okay. And then you have Kenny trying to be the peacemaker between the two because he's like, "Look, man, I'm just here just to hang out. Like, I don't understand all the static." And Hangman naturally says, I'm done drinking. I need to go. I'm going to go drink more. And then we get to the match tonight, and all of those standpoints are all like at the focus at the beginning of the match. You have like a friendly comments back and forth between Nick and Omega. You get Matt and Paige and
Paige.
You get Matt and Paige in the ring, and they start going at it. Hangman, the people that crowd is cheering for, spits in Matt's face. Matt does a take 2. He's already sick of his shit, and he beats the hell out of him. The crowd starts booing because the guy whooped the dude's ass that got spat on. Whatever. They continue, and it escalates from there. And I mean, there were just a bunch of incredibleness in the rest of this match. But Rich, anything else that like sticks out in the mind for you?
Yeah, man, I gotta go back to Iron Man match. So like,
okay. You should have cut me off.
Yeah, like the Iron Man match with Pac and Kenny. Like it was like, I'm sitting here, listening to people want the old Kenny Omega back. It's like, bro, if we look at this company, he's been the best wrestler in it from day one. So, okay, I guess. But like, but
then you see that and you're like, oh yeah, they do have a point about wanting to see New Japan Kenny. Everything's better in New Japan, Rich. Everyone.
So, like, I saw the match and it was like, I was really happy to see him actually get a chance to, to get the time he needs and the opponents that he needs to do it with. So, Pac was awesome in the match and looking like a 5'7" monster heel. He was, or whatever the fuck he is. both of these guys took incredible risks in the match, and it was like, this is the opening match on Dynamite. It was one for the ages, really.
Falcon arrow off the apron to the floor. Fucking maniacs.
Yeah.
It was awesome, but that was also dumb as hell.
Yeah. Just like, nothing shocks me, like, as far as like a risk or a bump that, someone like Kenny will take. Then like he ended up getting a win with One Wing Angel. You see that, it's a wrap. And he used the Kamigoye in the match. And that was, everyone marked out for that. And to the sit down, like, I don't know. Literally every review I'm listening to loved this segment. Loved it. I didn't love it the same way. I was just like, I wanted it to be more intense, and I wanted it to be like more of like, I'm a whoop that ass, like, essentially, like. But it was like they were kind of petulant, like it wasn't really like that heated level. Like, when I think of something like that, I'm thinking of the Rock Austin sit down, where Austin's like I'm gonna be at my best or whatever, and it's on. Like, I wanted that feeling from him. I didn't get it until the match. But when it happened, it happened.
I think the thing that they, because of the, I think, I don't know if they're working backwards of what they want to do in the match, so therefore they've laid down, the breadcrumbs along the way to get to the match or whatever else, or how they go about it. But I kind of felt the same way, and I didn't really feel that like there's actually something. Like, obviously you get all the, the bitter, jealous, immature shit from Hangman, and then, like, you get the Young Bucks kind of like, hey, man, can you stop, like, drinking because it's becoming a fucking problem, and look what's happening with you, guy. But, so I'm just like, I don't really get this story. Like, it's cool that he's drinking, but, like, I don't get, like, the groundswell support for the dude that's becoming more of a prick to, like, the good guys. And, like, maybe it's a thing where people are getting tired of Young Bucks keep getting in title matches. Maybe that's another part of it too. I don't know, but I just didn't buy it. And then, like, I just didn't buy that, or felt that, like, their collision course was earned until all of a sudden, like, you get the line from Matt about, like, you be a fuck, like, we, you want to leave, you can't leave, we fucking made you, like, you were a jobber in ROH, like, that's when you're like, okay, now there's a reason to actually, like, dislike the Bucks. But my thing is, like, that was brought on by, like, months and months of Hangman being a dick. So I'm like, okay, but yeah, like, I definitely see what you're saying about, like, it wasn't that confrontational until that line dropped.
Yeah, and when we get to the match, like, the Bucks get, like, their reception, but then Hangman comes out, he gets cheered like a motherfucker. Kenny gets a super pop, and then, like, the match starts, and it's just cowboy shit just everywhere. Like, it's really one of the great tag team matches you'll ever see in your life. I was over 5 stars on this, and it was just like, yo, like, I don't think I've liked the match as much as this year. So it was just like, well, it looks like we got our new entrant in the Wrestler of the Year conversation. His name is Kenny Omega. Like, so just he adding all these great tag team matches up. Got the singles matches. Got this one, and he just feels more kind of alive than he has, than at any other time, And I was looking at the Young Bucks, looking at their, I always see the, people trying to disparage the Young Bucks or whatever, right? So I pulled up their cage match today. I've never pulled it up before to look how many, like, matches they've, had. And it's like, I saw something like they have, like, over 80 matches that got 4 stars by, like, Dave, and then you start getting, like, their high-end work, like, within that too, and it's like, these guys are unquestionably like the resume is so long. It's like, argue with the data. Like, I don't, but yeah, this was just all time excellent. Like lots of like callbacks. The Bucks got me to like kind of get pissed at them during the match when they did that Kamigoye. I was like, oh, y'all some fuck niggas, like like y'all ain't right, like, and it was just like great spots, great near falls, and then Hangman having to use the one wing angel to wrap it up. We were running around Josh and Jeremy's, and it was like. It just felt like a really big match. I think is the new greatest match in the promotion's history.
Yeah, I think it's the best match in the promotion's history. Yeah, yeah. I think it's better. I don't think it is better than the Young Bucks and ladder match with the Lucha Bros. But yeah, I just
I was gonna say, anytime you get Kenny and the Young Bucks and they're against each other, like. I've liked what I've seen so far. So,
yeah, I mean, there were moments like, he spits on him back. You have the kinesio tape on him, on Kenny. So from taking the brutalizer for so long, the match progresses. He can't do the one wing angel. So then Hangman comes in and hits his own one wing angel, and this is like minutes after he had already put. One of the Young Bucks threw a table, powerbombed him through a table on the floor. So, this match is over. And then, the Young Buck that was laid out after minutes, makes a save. It was just an incredible match. It was awesome.
If you haven't watched it, do not miss this match.
Yeah. As far as you talking about...
talking about this at the end of the year.
Yeah, as far as you mention of it, you're hearing the noise about the Young Bucks thing. I'm at a point now where, I don't know what point it was, but it's been a while. We're just like, oh, you don't like the Young Bucks? Okay, I don't care. You're just wrong. It's the people that don't like Young Bucks are to me in my same mind when I think of the people that hate. I don't know. When you go on one of these you hear one of these dumb talk shows, one of these Skip Bayless or Max Kellerman talk shows, Stephen A. Smith talk shows, when they're just they're banging on one of these generationally great basketball players for whatever reason, whether they're banging on Durant for whatever reason or LeBron or Harden or whatever else, just fuck off. What are we doing here? What kind of hypercritical asshole are you? We do that here when we sparse out between the greatness of certain things, but we're at the part where we're acknowledging on the front end that we're talking about greatness regardless, and we're trying to find the space between the levels of greatness. They're just I don't know about Kyrie Irving, nigga. You don't know about Kyrie. Look, Kyrie pisses me off, but I know Kyrie's fucking awesome when he's healthy. He's a prick, but whatever. It is whatever. I just find it dumb. So for me, it's whatever. So I don't even know where to go from here. Do you want to talk about
all-time great match? Yeah, we can talk about the following match. So, ladies got set up.
Had no shot.
Yeah, set up to die. Not a lot coming into it storyline wise.
Nyla Rose, AEW Women's Championship. Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander.
Yeah. Actually kind of got the crowd back a little at the end. But there was just a lot in this match where it was I thought they were afraid to hit each other hard, and there were some botches, like Stat messed up her
she fucked a kip up and
then it was the match kind of just died from there. It felt
there were two moments in the show at that point. There were two moments that made me get out of my chair, and both for totally different reasons. There was one point where it may have been the 3-6 or the 630 through the table, or no, that's not what it was. Is when Darby almost fucking killed himself doing the tope to trying to give the tope through the ropes to Guevara that was laid out across the barricade, and then he ended up getting caught up in the ropes and almost Laparca-2'd himself. There was that, or maybe get out of my chair, just oh my god, that's so painful. And then there's another moment that made me just do the same thing for just when she kipped up and she basically Lacey Evans herself. And she couldn't get all the way over. I was like, oh no, this match is destined for going all terrible. Yeah. You had all that stacked against it. The crowd was forgiving because they know what the crowd knew what they were.
The crowd was trying to will this match into being good,
and they could not will it.
It was just a little short. It was just
Yeah. yeah, it was just for me. You know, I feel like between the Riho matches and this match, and another example is like there is no physicality in AEW women's wrestling, and there are ways to work a way around having non-physical matches. Like Cody's matches aren't physical like that. He figures it out most times to the level of success that's debatable, but he figures it out for the most part. This match, just they were doing choreography as opposed to wrestling, and like in a weird way, like a lot of the critiques that like people that think like Naomi's not good, like that's kind of the same thing. Like you kind of see like the jogging in place, not moving, not flying around. You see like not the pace, but the rate of quickness of the moves or whatever else seemed like it's just clearly rehearsed. It just didn't work, and like they could have had a more entertaining match had they just said like we're gonna do half this stuff and then the other half is us just like throwing forearms into each other's chest.
Yeah, like it was ironic. One of the points where I was like, that's the level of physicality you need is when she fucking Statlander fucking dove on Nyla Rose and there was no choice but for them to collide. Like, right. So it was like
you're right.
The finish was like I thought it was going to go awfully wrong, but Nyla was able to just jump in because she realized if she didn't jump in, either Statlander was going to break her neck or Nyla was going to injure her own self. Like so,
like it was it was weird because before that match, they were already on the top rope like a minute before that happened when they did the superplex that almost went just disastrously bad. That was scary. Luckily, it got over. Hopefully, I don't know. I think I looked away, so I don't know like how bad the angle was for Nyla, but she seemed to got up pretty quick. And then they did they teased the top rope monitor, the power bomb, the avalanche power bomb, and that was also weird because like you see that Nyla's feet are both outside of the ropes, and as opposed to like typically you've seen a teased avalanche Hurricane Rana or avalanche power bomb a million times, and like typically the people's feet are inside the ropes, and like they're leaning back on the cable, not the cable, but the turnbuckle or whatever else. And that wasn't the case, and I didn't know if it was like she wasn't comfortable holding her up like in that position or whatever else. But when she put one foot in and one foot out, I was like, I don't know what they're trying to do. And then like they both came down, and I'm just like, I don't think that went according to plan, but everyone's safe, so whatever. And they got out of there, and I'm just I feel like I don't know if it's experience or what, but like from seeing both of them wrestle other people, like you would assume they would have a better match than this, a lot better match than this, especially on this level of show. But it just wasn't in the cards.
Yeah, and it's one of those rare times where the match before just like you see the next two people get in the ring, it just feels like they ain't got no shot, bro. Like
yeah. Next match after that, the grudge match, Cody versus MJF. You want to go or do you want me to go? Which
I guess I'll start.
Yeah,
so MJF was oranged in a motherfucker, boy. like I didn't know if it was MJF or Orange Cassidy. Came out, did his entrance. I liked his joint he wore to the ring. Actually kind of made him look kind of important. And Cody came out. He was walking through the backstage. He had like an extended version of the intro or whatever. Like, so the choir was singing extra long or whatever. All of a sudden, he flashed from walking to, rising the fuck up, like. But the band starts playing. Hey, man, I hope I don't offend nobody when I say this, but, or anybody that listens to Downstate, but that band was horrible last night. Like, it was like they were singing out of key. Like, they were like missing parts. Like, where I don't know if it was the cameraman's fault, like where they were showing the lead singer, but he wasn't singing, but like vocals were happening. So someone behind him may have been singing, but it was like nah, man, you should just like, I think you set this shit off a little bit, and I think a lot of people in the arena looked at it like that too, or whatever. Like, if you would have set the regular song off, I think, you know, they would have got the energy they were looking for from the crowd to crank up for Cody. And then you look at Cody's neck. Now, I seen a lot of the commentary on this about it. Like, I'm like, oh, he got a tattoo. I don't really know much about tattoos and the whole. I don't have any tattoos either. So it's like, I saw all that, everybody freaking out about it. I'm like, well, what's the issue? Like, is it like the placement, or is it like the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay. So I also have no tattoos, but like, we know a bunch of people with tattoos. Like, one of our closest friends is like, he looks like a damn graffiti wall. That's fine. Well, so shout out to Kendrick. Anyway, so he is. All right. So something I've noticed, and I've seen people write about this before. Like, you know, I end up reading random stuff, but they're talking about how, like, in like the last decade, like the number of like famous people or celebrities, whatever else, like, have, because the taboo used to be to like, oh my God, you have a tattoo, you're probably not a contributor, a positive contributor to society. And now that we've had so many generations of different people from different backgrounds, different walks of life, all have ink, that shit is, you know, far less taboo, or, you know, looked at in a way to like, you're, you know, oh my God, like, you have, you know, all sorts of people in, you know, emergency services, law enforcement, healthcare, that have tattoos or whatever else, and some cover them up and some don't. You see their art is fine, no one gives a shit. The last kind of like real estate, at that point, because we're now so numb to people having tattoos, is the face. And over like the last 10 years, we've seen more and more celebrities get face tattoos, whether it's Rick Ross, Chris Brown, Birdman, Mike Tyson, you know, a bunch of people have face tattoos or whatever else. So another part of that is like the neck bone is connected to the head bone. So like,
a lot of people say that this distracted them from the match.
Right, right. Because it's like, one, this man has a whole Decepticon on the side of his fucking neck, looking like a robot in disguise, more than meets the eye and shit. And like, I think the part is like, it was so brand new, so like that, like the paint on it looks so fresh. It looked almost as if like he got the tattoo yesterday. So it's like, bro, we just saw you on Wednesday. What happened? What happened?
We did not see him on Wednesday. He was not on the show Wednesday. They only played a video package.
No, but I thought the stuff with Tiffany, like, he was in front of the crowd, right?
I don't know if that was too. Oh, you're right. That was after the show. That was after the show. Right,
but we didn't see him, but like, he was in front of a live audience that recorded the shit, and he ain't had that tattooed in. So people were like, "What's going on, bro?"
Yeah.
So,
but let's get to the match. Like,
yeah, it's like, and also it's like, another part is like, you're the face of this brand new company. You're 34 years old. Like, the other like, there's another thing with tattoos where like, the more you get, the less like meaning they possibly have, because at that point you just like, I just felt the vibe that day, so I just decided to get I decided to get a koi on my arm, because like, I got a million others, you know, I have no more space, or I have a million tattoos anyway, or people get tattoos over tattoos all the time, where you're one person like Cody, that only tattoo we know that he has is like that tattoo on his chest that says Dream. It's like, okay, so you have a tattoo that's a tribute to your father,
right?
Now you have this tattoo on the side, this big ass tattoo on the side of your neck. Like, this is like a tattoo. Remember when even when rappers was out here getting tattoos on their arms or their neck for the label they just got signed to? Remember that? Now it's happening like that was that Nightmare Family tattoo was like that, except on the neck. Like, yo, what is going on? Anyway, get to the match.
Yo, Cody brought out a million niggas with him. I thought it was the Wu-Tang.
I don't know none of them dudes.
Like, he was bringing just random Joes. It seemed like, you know, in addition to like QT Marshall, Brandy, Arn Anderson, and as I'm seeing all these people, I'm counting off the amount of gimmicks that will happen in this match. Like, oh, this person's here to do this. This person is here to do this on this side. And then this person's going to do this. So we said it last time. Last time he was doing the 1980s NWA cosplay match with Jericho, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were elements of this where it felt like, oh my God, he's trying to be Shawn Michaels with Jose Lothario because he kicked his old manager. His old manager took a fall during the match. Oh, I wanted to like it a lot. The bill for this was impeccable.
Yes,
you won't see better wrestling TV maybe ever, right? Or it's on the short list of a few being built up. And it just wasn't like, it was slow. It was like, I don't know. It just seemed like MJF was in a deep, like, into the pool trying to hang on this level. And I don't think Cody was all that great either. It was like, and I made the remark during the match. I was like, eventually all these matches are going to catch up to him. Like, you remember on Double Bad Boy, it was like, sooner or later, all this shit going to catch up. Like, you know, shit like that. All these cases are going to catch up or some shit like that. And it's like, the more of these that happen, right, people are reacting to them less because they're like, it's just like, I feel like people are reacting to them less. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I wanted to come on here and praise and say they surprised us. They gave us a hard 4-star match or something like that. I gave this a gentleman's 3. And I know there are people that liked it. I know there are people that probably hate it a lot, like hate it, detest it, go to hell, right? I'm right in the middle. I'm just like, I saw what they were going for. Maybe Cody's injury limited them a little bit, but there's just too much shit. Like I can live with, you know, the type of match where, yo, they're doing a million things in the match to each other. Like, I can live with that. But like, I got Wardlow looking like he's about to F10 Brandy on the side. We got Arn Anderson getting kicked and taking dives. We got, you know, Wardlow attacking Cody, MJF. Like, it just seems like there's just so much going on at all the times. And I'm just like, how about I just want to see y'all two fight?
Okay, so when people talk about how Cody is, people praise Cody when Cody's on, it works so well because he has all these grand ideas on how to do things that are like outside of actually just wrestling in the ring to add value and pop a crowd and can, you know, to change momentum in a match. The problem with Cody in a vacuum is that Cody does a lot of stuff in his matches that never makes sense when he decides to throw that kind of stuff out there into his match. The thing is, people like him so much, rightfully so, that people overlook it. And when you have a match like the match with Dustin, everything was perfect.
Sometimes the stars align.
Yeah, the stars align, and more of the time, like, they don't. So, and most of the time, it's not like,
no, the Wardlow match last week,
right? Like, more things go. Cody, most of it's hit or miss, and if I were to say, like, if 100 is success and 0 is failure, he's probably hitting a batting average of something like in the 60s, like 600 batting average, right? The problem with this match is it just a bad match. Like, one, this is a grudge match, so they should be trying to beat the fuck out of each other, or Cody should be trying to beat the fuck out of MJF, more specifically. And there was so much non-wrestling gaga shit in the match that it detracted from the elements of wanting to see Cody give this motherfucker a scar. And it had its moments of physicality, but for the most part, it was just wrestling match. And you go from stuff like, okay, well, he broke his toe. Let's do stuff with the toe. And then you get a part to where, all right, well, you've been working over this dude's toe or whatever else, and the toe's a part of the story. And then the whole thing is, Cody told us he's going to give MJF a matching scar for the matching scar that happened that he ended up getting on his face when he got hard-weighed on the ramp at Full Gear. Okay, we've taken the shoe off of this dude. He's in a sock. He gives him a kick to the head with the sock, or with the non-booted shoe, or non-booted foot. They do all of the distraction stuff so MJF can come up later with a blade job, bleeding, to put over the fact he just kicked him with a non-booted shoe. What?
A toenail was this? A toenail was this sharp?
Like, that's fucking dumb. Like, I just, it just like. Okay, so then like Wardlow helps MJF slightly in the match. Brandy gets a cup of beer, pours it on Wardlow, a monster in a suit, which clearly, and then she takes off running. She takes off running like she just did something hilarious.
I fucked up.
She wasn't scared. She was like, ha, I got you, and I'm out of here. Like, there was an element I did this thing and realized, like, I shouldn't have done this, and I'm out of here. The tone was, this is fucking Looney Tunes. Yeah. So, whatever. I just, the whole match just, like, it just did not work for me, and it also went 22 minutes when they were better served going 15 or 18, whatever.
MJF ends up getting a win.
Yeah, maybe I missed it. I don't know when he got the ring to hit him, to put it in his trunks and pull it out and hit him eventually. Like, I know that because I remember while they're on the ramp coming out for his entrance when this fucking glazed honey baked ham looking ass MJF comes on the ramp, rocking all the Burberry like he's Birdman in 2003. Wardlow took the ring off of him and put it in his pocket. I don't know when he got it back. Maybe I probably just missed it, but obviously, like, it's not a magic trick, but I just missed it, or the cameras missed it, or whatever else. But it's just too much gaga. They put in a blood feud where you want to see some dude get fucking cracked or whatever else, even for a short amount of time, or his ass whooped. We get that. There's also the moment where Cody hits MJF with the weight belt right in front of the ref. The ref has to. And then the ref stops him from hitting him again. He says, "Let me have this one." And he says, "Oh, okay." And turns his head. You just saw him whack him one time. What are you talking about? Let me have one. You mean two, nigga?
I like that idea execution, but they should have did it before the first one.
Exactly.
Like, so let me have this, ref. Like, there was a referee in the ring with me watching me get whooped. Ref, let me have this. Like,
that's my point.
Yeah.
Like, you already got one. Why do you want another one? Or you should have just kept striking them over and over and over. And, like, I'm not even going to get on the part where, like, the fact is, like, that's a blatant DQ. This is, like, if we're trying to
referee discretion.
If we're trying to pretend that this is a sanctioned bout, this is bullshit. But whatever. Like, I feel like if they were going to do that, it would have been better served. Or maybe it was a situation where they didn't want to be a dumb baby face that blows his stack and gets DQ'd or whatever else. I don't know, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I just this did not do anything for me. In a way that, like, you compare, like, the cage match is like, nah, bro, that's the good pro wrestling sports match. Gaga match. This one's not.
Yeah, the cage match washed this. Maybe Cody was right about Wardlow and MJF.
And I think there's also another thing, right? I think maybe their thought process was, we do all of this because we are a bad matchup in the ring together. Like, we can both be really good when we're in here with, Jungle Boy or Darby or whoever else. But us rush each other together in this company, we got to do.
This should have been a lights out match. This should have been a lights out match, and maybe that's where it goes. Because he had to cheat to win. So at this point, like, I'm like, just give them weapons and let them fucking whack each other, like, and try not to die. Like, I don't know, like, whether it's
are they gonna bring out a web of barbed wire too?
I don't know if they want to live that life. I don't know if them pretty boys want to live that life. Like, so
hey, they ain't pretty no more. Cody has a damn billboard on the side of his neck. It's a wrap, bro.
So I don't know. Maybe they run it back, Double or Nothing 2. Maybe, in a lights out match. Maybe they do. At some point, they have to do a lights out match with those two. So, yeah, wish it was better. I know Floyd's disappointed hearing this, but I'm sure he has a different perspective in the building. I'll be listening to All Things Elite
hey man,
to hear what he has to say.
All you want to. This man bladed off of a bootless kick. I'm sorry. I can't. I just cannot. I cannot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so next match after that, Orange Cassidy versus Pac, which makes me laugh and chuckle just thinking about that matchup on paper. But they came out here and had a thoroughly entertaining match. Thoroughly entertaining.
Incredible match. Just you see Orange Cassidy coming out and the crowd's fucking losing it for this dude. Like, I don't know what he does to get over like this, right? But besides nothing,
literally nothing on purpose. Nothing is on purpose.
But it's like the absolute juxtaposition. This physical beast, pissed off because he lost an Iron Man match guy, Pac, who is ain't about no games essentially, and this was like. I made a comment to you. I was like, when Orange Cassidy would hit a move and like do something you didn't expect, I was like, man, this feels like Linsanity. Like it was excellent. Like it was just like, yo, wow, AEW found another singles babyface that people that is over out here. So, yeah, like I don't know, like the shelf life on the whole gimmick once you see him wrestle and do that a bunch of times, but I'm willing to find out. So, yeah, this was awesome. Very very good match.
Yeah, I would keep him stashed and only bring him out like I don't even know if I'd have him wrestle once a month. That's how sparse I use him in an actual match. Now that they taken broke the seal on him in a match, I don't think I even have him wrestle once a month. Like I actually, what I would use them in trios.
Yeah.
Like, but big singles matches, maybe a handful a year. Anyway, just the idea. You're right. Just a juxtaposition of like this dude that doesn't want to try hard versus like your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. Like, I made the comment. I don't know if you remember this, but I made a comment last night. Like, Pac may not be the best wrestler in the world, but he is the best wrestler in the world. Like, he's that fucking good. Like, just the number of skills and stuff he does in a match, and the way he like in ring like builds anticipation. Like, we know that dude's a damn gymnast. We know he doesn't need to like spend like 5 seconds to steady himself on the ropes. He's building anticipation. Like when he does I guess now the top rope brainbuster.
Oh, that dude.
Or when he goes to the ropes to do like the setup for the black arrow, or when he does a shooting star press. Like all of that stuff is like to get you into the match. Like he's so good at everything. And for that dude that like also in the run he's been on where he's just a proper bastard, flat out and just an evil guy and ruthless. Like for that dude to like also like get into the goofiness of like almost like incredulous to like you put me in the ring with this fucking goofball. Bro, I'm going to murder him, but I'm going to enjoy watching, like, dealing with his foolishness until I decide to, like, murder him. And, like, that's all the match from there. Just, like, in a way, it's not too dissimilar. This match is not too dissimilar from, like, the magic that is Pete Dunne and Riddle together, except, like, they're in the middle of a match. It's like, you have this goofy fucker that's so laid back, and then you have, like, from just like the straight man British dude that's just like, you're doing what now? And you just like, and they're both like going along for the ride, except like they're a
British
tag
people
team.
Are funny.
This is the middle of the match while like Pac is entertaining this nonsense, and this match was so cool. Like they built up towards like two really cool like near falls for Cassidy. You know he's never going to win, but like it was so fun to get caught up in that at the time.
Yeah.
And then like Pac just puts him away because of course he's going to put him away. Are you crazy? It was so fun. It was such a fun, you know, probably since, to me, this is probably the best, like, no, I take that back. This is the second best match I've seen where, like, it's a funny match at the beginning and then it, like, turns on and then it gets, like, ridiculous and then it gets, like, incredible. Like, this would be number 2 this year that I've seen. Like, there's 3 that stick out in the mind. It's 2 in Stardom. It's that Azumi in Starlight. I'm sorry, Azumi in Kagetsu versus Mayu in Starlight Kid match from the beginning of the year, and then it's also Kagetsu's last match in Stardom. That match where she tagged with Mayu and then went against Momo in Jungle, where it's like, yeah, there's a lot of silly in this, and then they turn it on and it's just like, wow, like it's you know, this is the number 2 match I've seen like that this year, and I just like. I don't know how they come up with these matches. I think a lot of this stuff is like from the indie stuff. Like, do you remember when we saw in Orlando that Ricochet and Marty Scurll match?
Yes.
It's the same thing. It's like we're gonna you know, go half-ass, and then at the end we'll give you what y'all really came here to see. Like, so they did a really good job of that. And I don't think they really ever do that much place else, especially in WWE, even in NXT, where they do comedy stuff and then turn it on in that way.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing I'm noticing about this show is just like everything's different. Like everything feels like of itself. Like that's what's making these shows stand out. Yeah. Then we got our main event, world title match, Jon Moxley versus Chris Jericho. Jon Moxley is just hanging out outside in Chicago, sleeveless, hoodie out here.
He tougher than us, man.
Walks in the building. His music somehow is playing at the same time. Somehow he got the cue.
That man
comes out, crowds going fucking nuts.
That man playing his walk from Atlanta.
Yes. Man, like, huge pop for him coming out. Just like, we were just talking about all the baby faces that were like, you know, when we were watching it, just like that are over and can be number 1. And just like, you see Heyman getting the reactions. Kenny, then Cody, and then like Moxley, and it's just like, we all look at each other like, God damn, like he's really like came out here and got his pop. And then, you know, Jericho comes out, all-time iconic entrance right here. They have her name is Meredith Bell. Shouts out to Meredith Bell. It is the coolest thing when you see something on Twitter and then a wrestling company will like bring that person in to do something with them and spotlight them, be like, yo, this is what it is. About a month ago, I saw her doing the acapella version of Judas, where she had like 5 different videos of herself like harmonizing and then hitting the lead vocals and everything like that. And it was like, this is fucking amazing. Like, this is how like you connect with your fans and be like, I was like immediately, that's the girl from Twitter. And it was just like, that's fucking dope. She can sing her ass off. Everyone loves singing Judas, and you know, in their own way, essentially, like a fucking gospel choir singing this shit, like, and then Jericho comes out, and then, you know, he just looks like the fucking best, because he's fucking Jericho, and he comes to the ring, and it's like a big fight feel, with him and Mox, and this match is awesome also, so, and, you know, I don't know if you want to go through it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go through it. It was a really good match. I made a point, or I mentioned, like, yeah, man, like, people were complaining about, you know, from the boat thing where the crowd started chanting and how it's caught on, or Jericho's music and how it's caught on. It's like, look, man,
the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
It's like, I get what your point is, but ultimately it doesn't really matter, because, like, you look at different eras of wrestling, and, like, yes, there are dastardly people that have the belt, and, like, but we all know it's fake. We're all in on this, and it's okay. It's fine. Like, it's okay for the crowd to chant that shit when Minoru Suzuki gets into the ring. Like, You're gonna try and tell me he's a babyface? No, he's an axe murderer, or not an axe murderer because he refers to murder people with his bare hands. But same thing applies. You go back to Ric Flair. Ric Flair was always like he was a top babyface and a top heel at the same time most of the time. Like, and Jericho is that here in this company, and comes out. They love it, and then the bell rings, and they're going to boo against the dude because they want the other guy to win. Like, that's fine. Like, you don't have to have... The point of wrestling is you have people that you want to see fight, not, I don't want to see this person because I dislike this person, and then you go away. Like, that's not how you draw business. And, like, I think people get caught up too much in we want real heel stuff to defend, like, these mediocre jokers that are out here doing this stuff.
Right.
And they're losing sight of, like, no, like, you need person A and person B that people really want to see wrestle. And that's the end. And that's the goal is, right? Like, it didn't matter if Austin or Rock was heel at the time. The Rock was heel most of the time. Those guys got in the ring and they fucking drew. It's not that difficult. The Rock was a heel. He was a bastard. He was awesome. He was bullying commentary people. That's fine. It's okay. But besides the point, like, I thought it was a really good match. I wouldn't call it great, but they had a really good match. I thought they had a really thoughtful match. I thought they played off of, well, except for one thing, but I thought they played off of, the eye patch for a while. The blood. I mean, the Irish whip into the corner of the post.
I watched this post match on it. That shit is deep. Like, gash.
Yeah. So I think the blood added to the match. I think we're getting, now that we've had blood 3 times in the last 2 weeks, I think they need to stop because they're going to reach a point to where, like, people are going to get numb to and desensitized to the blood. But I thought it was a good match. The one thing that I will say is, like, so no one's really mentioned that much is that, like, people complained about Johnny Gargano waiting through all of the shenanigans in that Ciampa and Adam Cole match to quote unquote come out now. He just knew that, like, the perfect time was to wait 20-something minutes or whatever else. So Moxley wrestled out that whole match against the best in the world forever with one eye. He didn't, like, and then he decided after all that time to reveal that he had one eye. I don't hear people hitting on that one. My point is, like, it's fine. But yeah, I thought it was a really good match. And this was, to me, the most New Japan-ish match that Jericho's had in AEW. Like, we flat out got, Painmaker stuff, brawling out around the ringside area, grabbing the camera, flicking them off, ringing the bell, or declaring himself the winner in the middle of the match when he ain't pinned nobody. I really enjoyed it. Like, and I'm interested to see where Moxley goes from here because, like, I want to see I want to see New Japan Moxley more. Like, so it's gonna be interesting in the future because I don't know where they're headed with a contender down the line. And I mean, even if they had Jericho still be the champion, I think we're still gonna wonder, like, who's next.
Yeah. I just want to talk about Jericho real quick. Just a wonderful champion. Thinking about from, like, a little bit of the bubbly to bringing the belt to New Japan at the Tokyo Dome and, the whole Forbidden Door thing and defending the belt, like, and being just a world champion, like, throughout, a career renaissance and just feeling like he's at another peak. And I feel like I can always trust Jericho in any situation. It's going to be great. And I thought this match was awesome too. I ended up going 4.5 on this because it was just like, yo, you got the big brawl, you got the wrestling, you got the story that made sense. Moxley ended up pulling off the eye patch like I had predicted a little bit, and I thought that was just like I just lit up like a Christmas tree when I saw him do that. It was like he's gonna have to pull off the joint and use the good eye that he'd been hiding and training with or whatever, like, because this man's been wearing this shit forever. And it's like he's been going through his life training with this shit and until it was better. And it's like, you know what? I just like how the shit looks. I'm about to just, let it ride like so. So
I think the logic was like they were trying to do the Rocky 2 moment where you have Rocky come out and fight Southpaw in the second match or train Southpaw and then, like, have him, expecting one thing, and then all of a sudden, like, he switches stance, and like Apollo Creed's like, "Oh, hold on, player, what's this?"
Yeah.
I think that's what they were going for, but the thing is, like, you kind of need your eyes to fight. People with one eye, people that have vision in one eye, like, they don't let them like fight unless they doctor stuff like Michael Bisping. So I don't really,
So I think getting the belt off Jericho now, like, I mean, it's cool. I think you cut off, had he won and went forward, you cut off any conversation of maybe he had the belt too long. You cut that off right now.
Yeah, that's true.
And Moxley has been nothing but valuable from metrics like ratings numbers. That match he did with Cobb did phenomenal. All over YouTube. He's been like their primary driver, I would say, on YouTube. And just like bringing, his Moxley, I was very happy for him when he won and he got to hold the belt up and cut the speech at the end, because it was like, listen to his interview. He was afraid that fans that watched stuff around the rest of the world would not accept him or whatever. And what he did over the last 9 months is show, I am this fucking talented. I have this amount of skill, and I'm about to go all over the world and show it to everybody. And this is like the culmination of that. So whatever the title reign may bring, it's smooth sailing from here. Like, just like you have a chance to hit the reset button and be the champion that you should have been 6 years ago. Like, and it's just like, we're gonna see it. So there's gonna be no one here to cut him off, to fuck him, like to ask him questions about his personal life. There's gonna be no one that is like, yeah, we don't want to do any of your ideas in your match, John Moxley. We just want to fucking sandbag you and do nothing. And there's not two other dudes in his faction that they never treat him the same as, even though he was always the most over one. There's none of that anymore. So whatever is out there for Moxley go get, I hope he takes it.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. Like, this is a dude that hit the ground running, leaving WWE, and he was hell bent on, showing wrestling fans, and I'm assuming a lot of people in that company in WWE that, like, you underestimated me. And I mean, he pretty much already, the G1 solidified that, but like now it's just, now he's just basically going over the top on some full Kobe system shit with just like him, it's like, you had this dude just sitting there forever. And like, I think symbolically the fact that like he's a champion, after having this run outside of WWE over the last, since last April, May?
Hey, another double champion better than Naito.
I'm not going that far, but okay. But I think symbolically is like, I think him having the belt, being the second champion, is like shows like, look, you go out here, like if you leave the company and you prove it or whatever else, you can come here and this can be like your crowning achievement afterwards. And
I feel like the AEW title's a destination now. Like
yeah,
it's open for business.
I mean, symbolically, it's almost like a bat signal. It's like, hey guys, when y'all contracts run out, like you see what our TVs look like the last 20 episodes in, 22 episodes in, whatever the hell it is. You see what our booking looks like. You see, a lot of people putting their own sweat equity into things they believe in, because like a lot of this stuff is their own ideas and it's collaborative, as opposed to you're handed a script and told to fuck off. Like, I think Moxley being at the forefront of that, like, also helps them in the long run with that, being the champion for this, because you can't say, like, I don't know anyone is watching this saying like, oh yeah, they just gave it to him because he's X level of star. And
I don't
like,
get that.
This dude went out there.
At all.
Well,
he got this shit. Yeah, my fault. I was gonna say he got this shit on his own merit.
That's my point. Yeah. Like, this man earned this by going out to Japan and getting his ass whooped by some of the baddest dudes in the professional wrestling business, and then he took that shit all all around to the indies and worked, Darby and worked all these other people, and then take it to AEW and went out there and had a fucking hardcore porn match the other day, or not the other day, but I had Full Gear. Like, this is a dude that's like battling through, MRSA infections, all that stuff. Like this is the earned road for him, absolutely. And like, I think for a lot of people that have that similar drive to Moxley, I don't think this is some singular thing with Moxley. A lot of people that love this or whatever else, like, I think this shows that, like, yeah, that money's good, but you can make good money elsewhere and, like, actually, like, enjoy, like, getting your ass on a plane and packing up and unpacking and feel like all of that stuff's worth it to go out there in front of an audience of thousands of people.
Yeah. That respects you and loves you and, like, just, like,
right,
not trying to derail you or, like, or have this thing against,
or just knows what they're doing. Just knows what they're doing. Like that. Me and you and Simon got into a thing about whether or not WWE is Bizarro or Vince is like the Bizarro booker, or if he's just incompetent. And like y'all were saying, it's Bizarro, and I'm like, nah, man. I think Vince really believes that he's doing the right thing. He's just fucking wrong, like, or misguided at the time or whatever else, or whatever. I don't think he's actually saying like, yeah, I'm trying to do the fucking up Olympics over here. Like, so like that's what I mean. Like, and I think we got to a part where it's like, either way it's bad. So it's not like we're parsing something really small. Like either way, the outcome is mostly bad. But it's like, I think people are going to be tired of that. Especially if someone like Mox has been around there for a long time and saw all this stuff, and you heard it detailed in the Jericho and other places. Right? Like everybody has their horror stories in that company.
Yeah.
Like look at we're going to get to it because that's the end of the show, but like look at Super Showdown. I guess that's the transition, right?
Yeah. But AEW Revolution, just one of the best shows of the year.
Yeah,
highly recommended.
Yeah,
so
it's. I mean, right now we're at what? Portland, the two Wrestle Kingdom shows, this, and anything else you want to throw in this for pay-per-view discussion?
I was gonna say a couple of them episodes of Dynamite.
I think I like some of the episodes of Dynamite more than this pay-per-view, but I was just talking about a big show pay-per-view perspective. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Super Showdown. Oh, boy. So this show is now an hour and like 17 minutes long or whatever else. And like, we just talked about all the good wrestling and even, talked about some of the bad. There will not be much of a discussion about any good on this one.
No. This is quite frankly, it's possibly the worst show in WWE history. I logged on the cage match and it was like 0.44. It's worse than the TLC, the Hell in the Cell, the fucking Backlash 2018. It's really? Like, yes. It's
you mean like Backlash 2017?
2018.
Is that the one? What's on that card?
The double dick kick in the
Nakamura and AJ,
Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe headlock-a-thon where the crowd's fucking leaving, and Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax and Carmella, Asuka.
Okay, what about Battleground 2017? Is that the one with the Punjabi prison?
Yes.
Okay,
worse than that.
Wow, that's
worse than that.
That's impressive in the sneakiness. It's wow.
Yes. I watched the
all bad
the championship match on Twitter. I saw it. And it was
Which one?
The Goldberg.
Okay. There was another championship match that also went Twitter length as well. So
yeah, this is just like a manifestation of like I don't understand this company. Undertaker comes back, beats AJ Styles without taking his jacket off in 15 seconds. And that's supposed to make us want to watch the match. Ricochet and Brock Lesnar. It's exactly what the fuck I said it would be on this show. He's going to get fucking squashed. Did motherfuckers want to believe me? I'm not sure. Maybe they did. But I know, what's his name? Real Life Kaz. I had that waiting for a whole month before I dunk that shit back on Ricochet and Brock Lesnar gonna slap. What y'all complaining about? This what we complaining about. You simple ass. I'm not even gonna get into name calling, but
after you stop yourself and call them simple, come on, man.
Yes, yeah. Look, man, this is like this booking, like they're treating these people like jokes, and it's just like seeing black people go for everything on this show. Everything.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Yeah, man. I mean, let's go. We already got the Gauntlet part. We already got the Ricochet part. I mean, we could do this in passing and get to it. Like, it's just
30 seconds each. Let's get it.
It's really weird how, or not weird, but like it's interesting to see people's breaking points on the main roster. Like mine was I've had multiple breaking points. Right? So, like, there's WrestleMania 34, that was a huge breaking point for me. There was also, like, WrestleMania 35 when, like, that bill with Ronda and Charlotte and Becky, like, that just, like, I can never love Vince McMahon's, like, whatever he's booking. I can never, like, I have no faith in them. Like, they can get forced into a good thing and then like recognize that like they just got lucky and then still fuck it up. Like so you have that. And then this is like I have no faith. So like I'll just watch their big shows. I'll hear about their TV, and I'll check out whatever I find is a low light or a highlight just to watch it. And like to see a lot of people, like some of the most die hardest of WWE fans, like just be like, I got my teeth kicked in. It's just like, yeah, man, like the way to watch this show at this point is to watch it detached or watch it for like this almost from a perverse pleasure, not perverse pleasure, but like just perversely, like how nonsensical can it get? How cockamamie can this stuff get?
I root for anarchy. Like I root for unrest. Like I root for everything. Like anything can go bad. I might as well be a Russian, James. Like when it comes to WWE,
I don't root for the stuff to go bad. I just know that it probably will. So just like when it happens, I'm just gonna be like, see this other thing that happens. So for me, it's just
look. I want their fans upset. I want everything just to go awry. Like the booking to turn out to be a disaster. Everything, shut it down. Like redistribute the wrestlers around the world.
The contract's still gonna hold up, player. They got TV deals. But the thing for me is, like we talked about this at WrestleMania. I mean, we talked about it for years, but it got really bad at WrestleMania 33. When it was like,
you can draw a line from WrestleMania 33 to like the point of no return. Like once they pass that.
Yeah, like I mean, really, like when we did the multiple part thing, we had Semper Vivi on to do one headlining show. We had Jeremy, we had Chad, we had Simon, we had for multiple shows because they were like 6 shows deep in headlining level shows, whatever, tentpole level matches, or whatever else, right? So
Sierra,
and it's just like so much of these matches where it was Shane or Undertaker or Goldberg or Lesnar or whoever else I'm forgetting. Triple H, of course.
Cena. Cena was still kind of around then.
Yes, I'm not gonna mention Cena, but yeah, it's just like all these people are like taking up these spots, and because they're the real stars, because like y'all ain't tried to make a star in like 20 years, and to go from that moment of like all that stuff happening and at the WrestleMania 33 thing to like where we are now to where like it's just a continuation of the same thing is like, all right,
time is a flat circle. They just get new part-timers and like, new people that haven't been around all year.
Right, like Undertaker was on the WrestleMania 35 card. Okay, Batista. Right, for his go-home thing. All right, Triple H is going to be on this card. Okay, we have Edge now. It's going to continue over and over. And also we got Goldberg added to this bitch out of nowhere too.
Yeah,
like we lose Triple H. We get Edge, which is cool because Triple Edge is going to give us better TV in a match than Goldberg will. But like we got Goldberg,
and they're not going to get the return on Edge like that because Edge spent his career like largely like you're not as good as them.
Right. He was like his whole career is you are not Triple H or Undertaker or The Rock or Austin, and then those guys are gone, and then you're the guy now. You're the number 2 guy now behind Cena or 3. We got Cena and Batista and Triple H while he's still around. Like he went to being like a lower top guy. Like he went to being like a person that would main event a card, not not the star, and that's fine. Like,
and he has a bunch of world title wins to show for it and stuff like that.
And he did one on TV. He did one on TV, but he was never the guy, and a lot of people will say that he was never in Vince's mind a guy, which I think is fair. Same way that I don't think Daniel Bryan has ever been a guy for WWE ever either, or so I think that you go from all that we just talked about, and then like you see it again as like more guys in the future just getting handed over just to put over these other dudes, and it's like I don't case by case basis. I don't know if like it's the worst thing in the world. Like clearly they already have fucked up Ricochet, right? So it's like okay, they beat another dude they've already fucked up anyway. So it's like okay, but once you see that and then you pair it with Undertaker just comes out and just wins a fucking gauntlet match that these other dudes like bust their ass for. You like add that in with like what Brock Lesnar did at Money in the Bank this year or last year. Shane McMahon winning the Best in the World trophy or whatever else. It's like they were trying to get Shane McMahon heat at the time and they didn't pull the trigger until later. They're not trying to get heat with Undertaker. They just wanted to pop you because Undertaker showed up. Or whatever else, and like all the other dudes bust their ass or whatever else, and then they get the fuck on, and then AJ, I'm not crying for AJ that he got squashed or whatever else. So he's been squashing dudes all year himself, but whatever. But it's just like, all right, another old guy comes through and like steals the shine at the end. Brock,
and it's like these dudes don't get no weaker, they don't get no worse as they age. They don't do like nothing. Like it's just like they're not telling stories. Like this is just hot shotting. For like
it is. It's
an insane amount of hot shotting, like and that like played out over on SmackDown as well.
Yeah, so like the number one is like Goldberg and Wyatt is like we've had no inkling that Goldberg was even coming to doing WrestleMania. Like they just saw like they just looked up, it's like they looked up and realized, oh yeah, like we could do Goldberg versus Roman. Duh, motherfucker! Like of course we're gonna do this. Like take the belt off of Wyatt, and it's like. The Wyatt stuff is polarizing, obviously. Like, I think that it's not my thing. It's not my thing, but I think at moments he was doing some things compelling, like the Firefly Funhouse stuff is like, I don't know if that stuff, I don't think that stuff draws, but like, I found it to be entertaining. But his match is stunk, flat out.
And he's always been Bray Wyatt underneath all that shit.
Right.
Like when the bell rings, it ain't there.
Right.
Like
so like for me, like I ain't crying for that dude, but if you are a WWE
you cry
fan,
for the situation. You cry for the situation, not the guy.
Right.
In this case.
Right. Like if you're a person, and also like the fact is like, well, what the fuck then? Like you spent all this time, you spent all this time like. And invested into this dude, and then like because it's money time, he get moved to the side. It's like Strowman. It's like a Strowman situation all over again, except probably even bigger. It's like you made him the champion, you had him
killing people,
you had him murdering people left and right. He was always focused on TV. He's like the only character that was consistently protected well.
And then all of a sudden he loses
money, and he just moved to the side.
Loses to a sloppy suplex in a awful match, and just like completely like
I don't know if it was it awful because I didn't see it, but like it just seemed like because it went so short. It's like it's not. I don't know if it's an awful match or it's a nothing match because the awful match I'm thinking like Goldberg Undertaker.
It's like nothing. Like it's just
a
like
nothing match. Yeah.
There's nothing. Like Goldberg has nothing left in the tank right now, and it's like I don't know what the situation is with his body because Goldberg comes back and he's normally like jacked and swole.
He wasn't as big as before.
He wasn't as big as before, and he looked kind of soft, but and he had like a big gash on his like abdomen. His lower abdomen.
He's had that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never noticed it, but it was just so sloppy, and then like they're like, I don't know how you watch this and feel inspired. I don't know how you watch this and feel like, yo, I can't wait to see what this leads to. Because, I mean, if you want to see what it leads to, just look what the past is.
WrestleMania 34.
Like just look at the past. Time's a flat circle. What's going to happen right after WrestleMania? These people aren't going to be around. This TV is going to suck. Like, and it's going to be like, they're going to be trying to inorganically, once again, shove people in these positions after WrestleMania with programs, and it's just not going to click like every year. Just like Lacey Evans challenging, just like Kofi Kingston doing Challenger of the Month, and all these people, and and Seth, like, you handcuff him to Baron Corbin and shit. Like,
right.
It's not like that's what the future is.
Yeah.
So
I think we'll see what happens, but I'm mostly with you. I think there's a possibility. Well, there's a possibility that Bray and Roman both win at WrestleMania, and then they go into that after WrestleMania. But you've already taken the carrot on the stick of what that would mean for Roman to beat the Fiend by having him already lose to Goldberg. Like, it's almost like,
you know why?
No, hold on real quick. It's almost like
Howard.
It's almost like Roman Reigns, Goldberg, and Lesnar from 2014 to 2017, except in lightning speed. Like, all right, we built up the Fiend. Okay, we built up Lesnar. For both of them are built up for Roman eventually for a big win at WrestleMania. Goldberg comes in, Goldberg gets over. Vince says, never mind that shit. Putting Goldberg goes over these people that were built up specifically for Roman, and then Roman's left to scramble in the back half, just like, okay, what now? Except this happened in months as opposed to multiple years for the first time around with Goldberg.
And I don't know what the percentages on this, right? But we all know what the fuck this is. The Bray Wyatt people are upset.
Oh yeah,
because it's not necessarily
their favorite loss. Their favorite loss.
No, it's not even that. It's like they were advocating for Cena versus Wyatt at the belt because they did not want Roman Reigns to get this win. That's all this is. It all comes back to Roman Reigns all the time, right? And it's like, I wanted to see Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns.
Right.
I think it's the best match.
Right.
It's the best history, the best feud, the most
best story that you just easily plug in and everyone immediately understands that's watched over the last 5 years.
So I'm incredibly disappointed that they found a way to not do that again, and they showed nothing but blatant cowardice in the way that they're doing it, because it seems like they're trying to protect Roman Reigns from boos for whatever reason. It's not
gonna work.
It's not gonna work, and it's like, yo, just fucking roll with it. Try that. That's the only thing you haven't tried is rolling with it. I don't know. What are you afraid for? You're insulated from money forever, essentially. It's like, yo, and Daniel Bryan he looked like he's staring at the fucking Andre right now. So I can't even get it all the way into that, but yeah, just a lot of bad booking, a lot of bad hot shot booking, stuff happening out of nowhere, matches getting rolled out like they're press releases. It's just
that's a good point. Press releases,
completely inorganic. Just I don't know how you invest in this within a month. It's like and then juxtapositioning that with AEW with this fucking great build from January to fucking Revolution, and then Revolution going off like this. Revolution's gonna smoke WrestleMania.
I don't even want to do that because obviously, but just look at last year. Look at the build of Kofi Mania, and the build of Kofi Mania was not perfect. It was absolutely not perfect. It was overlong. It was playing on stuff without actually saying it in a way that's
acceptable for everybody.
Yeah, in a way that's as opposed to actually giving the New Day the edge that they also crave that everybody in the New Day has to be tough dudes to draw on top, whatever. But see that from last year, just last year, and this is like
part-timers everywhere.
I don't really, it doesn't, I mean, I'm detached, so it doesn't really bother me, but like I see how it's bothering other people, and it's like bothering them in ways is like, yo, like I'm detached from it, so I don't really care, but like y'all are freaking out, and I'm like, is it? And I'm looking at it from detached, so maybe like because I have no emotional investment, it's like, in isolation, is it really, in a vacuum, is it really that bad compared to the other shit that has ran me off over the years?
We've been telling them this shit been happening for years, and it's like
people are
like they done heard about the robbers in all the other neighborhoods, and the robbers finally came to their neighborhood.
Yeah. like for example, like people were so mad because like, the Fiend lost. And these people aren't even Fiend fans, but like the Fiend lost, and then the Fiend comes out and points at the sign, and like people lose their mind because he pointed at the sign. I'm like, there's a million motherfuckers that pointed at the sign. Who gives a shit? Like, I don't, whatever.
I yes, just feel like, but whatever.
It's just like that's weird. It's like this is the like. Obviously, this is clearly not like some big inciting incident. This is like the straw that is breaking a lot of camels' backs. And it's like, but
why don't you?
But for me, like
why don't you give a fuck about the belt you just lost? And then it's the aftermath of like, wow, we have to watch this part-time ass Roman Reigns coronation, like, and then it wasn't even like that's what it is, like, and it's just like, oh,
this ain't
so a lot of people gonna be advocating for Drew McIntyre and Brock the main event now. Look out for that, by the way.
In my mind, like, this ain't worse than any of the other coronations they've had for Roman. So, like, I don't really, or like, as far as like you doing something like forced us into the situation, like WrestleMania 15 WrestleMania 31 is the worst offender of all of them. Like, you had a dude that was flat out hotter than him to the fans. It was earned that the dude was going to come back and go and get a title shot as Royal Rumble 14 thing. He wasn't even in it. He's in this one. You throw him out. Like, you set all these odds against that dude or whatever else. It's like, nah, man. Like, this was a worse offender. Like, or that was a worse offender than this is. So, like, this is like light compared to like the other, literally 4 ones they've done.
It's fucking hilarious how WWE just was like, you know what? We ain't even gonna do no elimination chamber match. Roman, you just go out there and you're no one contender now.
Yeah.
Like,
another thing for me is like, I don't really care, but it's like, can we like,
it's like
just can we just try to have
in the room?
What?
I was like, can we talk about the elephant in the room? Like,
well, we'll get to that in a second, but
okay.
That's the very next thing we'll talk about. But like, it's like Roman's not in the elimination chamber. So we're just like we're just on never ending quest to like never have Roman like in good matches ever again. Like, like the only 2 you're getting is like, oh, he's in a tag match with Daniel Bryan. Oh, he's in a tag match with The Undertaker. But like a good like match, no, we're just like, we're probably never doing that ever again. It's like, this is, even if like you're someone that wasn't like upset by the Roman shotgunning in 2015. You have to be like, yo, this is not the same as like the 2015 and 16 Roman Reigns we were getting when he was going out there having kick-ass matches like every other month. Like, this is not it. This is just, And
we're gonna have like I talked to her and said we're gonna have her on the show. Like, we got like Roman Reigns fans like that are pointing this out, like that recognize this, like hardcore Roman Reigns fans, and it's like, you came out here and you had this guy go through this year. You got him back. Essentially, you never know if you're getting him back, right? And then you fucking do, right? So you get him back. You do your Shield 6-person match or whatever at Fastlane last year. Cool. You do a nothing Drew McIntyre match at WrestleMania. 10 minutes in the middle of the card.
Right.
Literally didn't add a thing to the show.
Right. And these are two people that are like a year later are both in key matches at WrestleMania, and you had them go out there and throw mid out there. It's like, what the and they're both really good ass wrestlers, so that's what makes it even more frustrating.
So up next, then they had Roman Reigns lose to Shane McMahon at Super Showdown. Then him and Drew McIntyre back on pay-per-view again. A little bit better match that time. Then we get the tag team match with Roman Reigns and Undertaker against Drew and Shane. Who gets to pin Shane McMahon? That's right, The Undertaker. Then Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan are completely left off of SummerSlam 2019 because of all things we've covered before. Then
murder mystery.
Not Daniel Bryan gets the match, but Eric Rowan gets the match against Roman Reigns, right? And beats him, James. He beats Roman Reigns in not a really good match at all. Just
because they dusted off Luke Harper.
Right. Then Daniel Bryan comes to his rescue and is his friend, apparently, again, because Daniel Bryan's been turned babyface at this time because we can't have them fight ever.
Now think about this.
And good, because that shouldn't have happened at that time of year anyway.
Right. But here's the thing, right? Go through this match and then throw back to me.
Then we got Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns against Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. And this was probably the best match that Roman Reigns was in the last year.
It was either that or the Buddy Murphy match.
Correct. On TV, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about Roman Reigns' pay-per-view match.
Absolutely.
Just feuds.
You're right. This was the best match he's had on pay-per-view in forever. Okay, so then, after that, think of how we just went through that run from, was that February to October, right? To October.
Doing nothing of note with this man.
Then it gets demonstrably worse because he's handcuffed to Corbin for the rest of the time, for the next 6 months.
Starting at Crown Jewel, when he teams up with Ali, Ricochet, Rusev, and Chad Gable, Shorty G, against Lashley, McIntyre, Corbin, Orton, and Nakamura. And Corbin's his main rival there, so you see that's where we're going. Survivor Series happens. Of course, we got that. You know, him and Corbin are turning on each other during the match. Survivor Series kind of an outlier match.
Match is like there until you end up getting like Corbin the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Then at TLC, possibly the worst show of the year, a 1.75 star match, maybe worse. I think I might have given this even worse rating. Corbin beats Roman Reigns with the help of like 40 niggas. Like, it was ridiculous.
Do you remember Humpty Dumpty? The story of Humpty Dumpty?
Refresh me. He like falls down or something.
Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. He falls, and all of the king brings all of the king's men to try to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Dude, all of King Corbin and all of King Corbin's men came out there to whoop that man ass. Like that's like, and he had no fucking help. The top baby face in the company, they're having an argument over who's the locker room leader. And he has nobody to help save him. And then like his cousins come weeks later, or the next, or 2 days later, or whatever else it was, but not that day. He's a head bashed open by a fucking can of dog food. Ziggler's underneath the fucking ring. Maybe he was the one to put down the dog food. Why the fuck would dog food be underneath a fucking wrestling ring to begin with? This is the dumbest of shit. Like,
yeah. So like, I notice we're not talking about any good matches.
No,
we're talking
about horrible matches.
Horrible matches, horrible TV, and then he fights him at the Royal Rumble again, and they have like a 30-minute match or whatever, and it's like not good. And then another match here with Corbin at Super Showdown, and it's just like a 2-star match, nothing match. So this is what they've done with Roman Reigns. They kept him away from guys like Daniel Bryan. They kept him away from guys like Nakamura, Cesaro, Andrade. We're all on the same brand as him. You could have been having kick-ass matches with this dude, doing important shit, but no, it was more important to make sure to be scared with him and put him in the Baron Corbin incubator, because no one in their right mind would cheer for Baron Corbin against him.
Right. And if
why are they so scared?
And if your thing is like, well, maybe they were trying to elevate Corbin, it's like,
well, where the fuck's he gonna be at WrestleMania?
Right, he's gonna be off the fucking card. He's gonna be Andre probably, or like wrestling some washed legend that needs to retire, like for more heat. Like, they haven't learned their lesson with Corbin. They've had 3 different instances of trying to push that dude to a main event spot on a card, and all 3 times have critically been disasters. Like, you have when he was doing the Lashley and McIntyre thing at the end of 2018, that fucking sucked. That was tanking the rating. You have him versus Seth Rollins immediately after WrestleMania 35, and that shit sucked so bad that, one, it got Becky Lynch, the hottest person in the company, it cooled her jets. It also gets Seth in such a bad situation, along with Seth's bad Twitter game, that they have to sacrifice and turn that dude heel by October after winning the Royal Rumble and beating Brock Lesnar fucking twice clean. So then, or not clean, but beat him twice, pinned him twice. And then you have this. It is like, this dude keeps getting, he went from fighting at the time on Raw, when the top babyface is like Seth Rollins or doing something else. So he's fighting mid-carders, right? At the top is the heel. Then he's fighting the fucking champion coming out of WrestleMania. And now he's fighting the number 1 guy in the company on SmackDown for months at a time. Like, he keeps getting higher profile stuff as he's just dragging all these dudes down into the mud. Like, it's I don't get it. It's inexplicable. It's malpractice.
Yeah. And they've done nothing with him, impressive with him. He hasn't impressed. And it's just like, they're going to attempt to fast track this story of this guy came back from cancer and he's going to win the title a year later. Don't you just love it? And then it's like, this, when I start hearing this phrase, it's like, I've been hearing it lately. It's like, well, is this earned? This doesn't feel earned. Like, and the thing is, I'm not mean Roman Reigns earning it professionally or anything. I'm talking about, well, what is his performances been in? What are the situations that he's been put in ahead of time to really like drive this home and make it a special feeling, rather than just it's Goldberg at WrestleMania, even though, and it's an old guy and it's gonna be a bad match, or it's gonna be like a 5-minute match or something like that. It's like, There's got to be better ways to do this.
Yeah, and the prevailing logic that a lot of people have is, well, they basically sacrificed Wyatt to have a more palatable opponent, bigger profile, more palatable opponent that like they think the crowd will support Roman behind at WrestleMania, and it's like,
no guarantees.
There's no guarantees of that, and 2, motherfucker, y'all tried this 2 years with Brock Lesnar.
And people like Brock Lesnar a hell of a lot less than they like Goldberg.
Right.
And Goldberg's catching some strays too now.
Right. And it's like, you didn't learn your lesson when like y'all got that match got shat on all in the Superdome. Like, I don't fucking get this. Like, just have Roman wrestle a good match against somebody and have him win the belt and call it a day. Like, you want, and then tell it. It's so weird that like he's been positioned as the top guy in this company, and like he might be like the worst booked person in the entire company at the same time. If you go over like their entire career path and trajectory since 2014, like these last 6 years, he might be the single worst booked person in the entire company, while the company wants nothing more than him to be the top guy, and he is a top guy. It's fucking.
It's a fucking inverted mind fuck. Like that's all I can describe it as. It's just like there's so many things like that are wrong with how you get there, the execution of getting there, and what happens in the aftermath.
Yeah, and like they just keep adding upon their mistakes by trying to fix it by doing more things that are like also mistakes. And like I always joke about look at the long form story to look at the tapestry. Like this is a spider's web of like just poor decisions. Like this is just they're all folding upon itself and woven in, and it's just like it's a modern. It's not okay. So when I say this word, I mean in the sense of like a play, right? Like there's comedies and then there's tragedies. This is a modern day classic tragedy. Like this, like, and like this is like the new Romeo and Juliet of like like bad news, but it's not like from the meta point of like you're telling terrible stories as opposed to like, oh yeah, you built something and then like it ends up dying at the end. Like this is just, they keep fucking this over and over and over. Like it's incredible. But now that we're past the Roman thing, we gotta talk about it. We have the New Day lose the tag titles. You have the Street Profits lose their tag title match. You have Naomi lose her tag title or her SmackDown Women's title match. You have Ricochet get squashed like a jelly bean in his WWE heavyweight title match. Four black people, just 4 black acts, just we set them up and we knock them down.
You need a setup person. Let's beat the blackies. That's all this is. And coming at the end of coming at the end of February, right when you think it can't get no worse. You know, terrible right when Tyson Fury beats on Deontay Wilder.
Hey, Vince can't control that one.
Yeah,
Vince can't control that one.
Look, Triple H was at the match. He could have helped. You know,
what was he gonna do? Was he gonna grab the sledgehammer and help Wilder?
Shit. Somebody should have helped Wilder. Shit. And then you got Deontay Wilder talking about his clothes was too heavy. No, like I don't want to hear that, bro. Like, then you have Bianca losing to Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. In back-to-back matches. Then you have Leo Rush losing. You have black people getting cleaned and mopped the fuck up all throughout this month, Vince. What the fuck's going on here? Like, during this month, specifically, we gonna give them these title matches that don't matter and fucking mop them at the same time. Like, horrible. Absolutely horrible, and I saw it coming ahead of time, and I was tracking. I would send James these voice memos like, "Yeah, I see what the fuck's going on out here. Watch," and then Super Showdown. I don't know. I don't know why it is this way, but it is this way. And I look forward to, I believe it's already happened, of Ricochet being airbrushed out of the canon and history of the 2020 Royal Rumble when Drew McIntyre eliminated Brock Lesnar. I look forward to the airbrushing, and I hope Ricochet looks forward to the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Like,
hey, he's happy. He's happy. So I'm happy too.
You like it, I love it.
Right.
You getting your money, cool. But I know where you should have been, bro. You should be one of the defining performers of this era. Like, you should be. You are the B side, the A side or B side to Will Ospreay. Look what the fuck Will is doing right now.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Come on my neck, girl. I'm cashing out. Hey, I understand, Ricochet. I understand, but don't come on Twitter and lie to us, bro. And also, Cedric Alexander was out here losing to Riddick Moss. I'm sure he's going to beat AJ Styles for the U.S. title any day now, James. Any day now.
When was the last time he was on TV on Raw?
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's really frustrating to, like, for example, watch the network and see, like, how with Triple H or whatever else in NXT UK, NXT 205 Live, whoever else, and see that we have all these talented guys and they can get their audience to care and build up towards takeovers and whatever, and big matches, whatever else, and you see, like, people get behind them in whatever way, and then to see, like, that work on a certain level, or even, on a level as big as WWE with the takeovers, in front of the same size audiences, and then to see, like, that get ported over to the main roster, and just to watch, like, almost everybody just, like, fail left and right. And it's like, at what point do these numbers become so big? I'm already at that point, but, like, for even, like, the staunchest WWE main roster fan or whatever, at what point do, like, these numbers get so big that, like, you have to stop saying that, like, this is a whole generation, like, an entire generation of people that can't get over, and start, like, saying, nah, man, like, this is a flawed product that is, like, flat out bad coaching and putting people up to like the worst of their potential, to never meet their potential. So it's just really frustrating. It's like, so like, it's a thing when you see, I'm not even gonna get into that, but like, so all these people's fuck ups, all of them, they're all just fatally flawed, every single one of them. Like, and the reason why they're fatally flawed is because none of them are the fucking Rock, like that's or John Cena. Like, you have to be John Cena to make it as a professional wrestling in WWE at the top. That's what you're telling me. Is if that's the case, we need to fold up all this shit.
That's funny.
Like, there is no such thing as a perfect example. Jon Moxley. Is Jon Moxley this dynamic performer in the ring from a technical wrestling standpoint? No.
I would say no. I wouldn't consider him a super worker or anything like that.
Right. He is a very good promo that can sometimes be a elite promo. He is a person that puts a lot of thought into his wrestling matches, but is not a great athlete. And he's not a person that looks like one of these 80s or 90s guys physically. And he's not gigantic either. Like, you look at all the way people have like pinpointed what can be predictors or traits that would help someone get over, and he's not a 10 in any necessary thing. But you look at him in WWE,
he might be an 8.5 though. He might be an 8.
Right. So, my thing is, like, if we have 8s, 9s, whatever else, and they can't get over, then what the fuck then? Yeah. Like, if we're gonna see with Garza, if they can't get Garza the next Rey Mysterio that they've been trying to make ever since Rey Mysterio and Eddie and whatever else, they can't make him into it, then they may as well never hire another Mexican dude, because that's the dude. And it's funny because I was saying this months ago, right?
A long time ago.
Like, when he's having those matches, like, I think the first time I saw him, I was like, we might have something here. And then, like, he started having the matches with Leo Rush, you're like, we definitely have something here. This dude is great. You see, he gets on the main roster. Every review I've heard from anybody that has an opinion I respect, that still watches main roster wrestling, is like, oh yeah, we have something here. Like, this, we'll see. And we'll see, it means ... Don't hold your breath, motherfucker. So, I mean, and back to, Black History Month just being blown up. Just
bombed out. Depleted.
Yo. On SmackDown, they brought Naomi back the next night to have a match with Bayley. It's an immediate smaz. It's like, it goes maybe a minute, and then Sasha comes in for the DQ. Lacey Evans runs down. They didn't even bring out Teddy Long. They didn't even bring out a commissioner. The ref herself said, fuck it, tag match players, have the match. The match is specifically all built around making Lacey Evans the star of the match. It goes horribly wrong because Lacey Evans, even a year on the main roster, still ain't ready. Like, she is years away from being years away.
Damn.
Like, nah, bro. No. Like, she went to do a stereo slingshot plancha to the floor, over the top rope with Naomi. Naomi goes over and goes down as just like the plan was. She gets her feet caught up in the rope, and then she has to land. She luckily holds on and gets her feet on the apron, and basically axe handle smashes Bayley, and they go to commercial break. And I'm just like, wow. And the whole match is Naomi's in there first. Sasha and Bayley are just working her over, trying to get to the hot tag with Lacey. That spot with the plancha happened to go to commercial break. They come back, they get the hot tag with Lacey. Lacey has a pretty good hot tag. And then at the end, there's a bunch of shenanigans or whatever else, and at the end, Naomi gets distraction pinned by Bayley. So that's where we are.
So Naomi's done,
more or less.
We didn't have to wait.
No, I'm sorry. Hold on, I'm sorry. Wrong way. Bayley gets distracted. Naomi schoolboys her, kicks her, and gets. So it's like, okay, so we are how many weeks away from WrestleMania?
5 weeks, maybe.
Is it a fatal 4-way match? Is it a?
It sure feels like it, don't it?
Right. That's where it seems like we're headed. Is like, okay, like Sasha just came back. Sasha didn't get pinned. The fucking champion did. Naomi just got her 50-50 booking with the champion. The star of the match was planned to be Lacey. You built a hot tag toward her. Where are we headed here 5 weeks from now? I don't know. And it's like, all right, so how do we capitalize off of Naomi coming back 50-50 or to death? How do we...
We'll put the person in there we really want to push. We'll put the champion in there with Bayley, and then we'll also throw Sasha Banks in there because she's just hanging out too or whatever, but she's an actual star that we don't ever do anything with. So that's how you'll get your push, Naomi. That's how you get your push.
And it's like, you're also doing the thing where like you're teasing that you're finally going to give us the Sasha Bayley thing, and it's like, dude, after 2018, I'm done.
Care.
I don't give a fuck. You fucked it. like one, we already got it in NXT. It's never gonna be as good as NXT. You did the whole thing where you teased like they were gonna have a thing. You teased all throughout 2018. Fuck off. I don't care. Normally they'll put out some match that like will get me to be intrigued and at least like make me think maybe I'll watch Raw or I'll watch that episode or that segment on Raw or that segment on SmackDown. Dude, I watched SmackDown based off the intrigue of like what are they going to do or whatever else to get to this pay-per-view next weekend, but there was nothing singular that made me say, all right, I'm gonna tune in. It was just like, well, they've pissed off a lot of people. Let's see what they do from there. But like SmackDown is deads, flat out deads.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I ain't got nothing else. So, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, man. AEW lit.
You want to talk about Nick Aldis? Or do we have enough information on Nick Aldis?
Yeah, we got some information on Mr. Nick Aldis. Kind of breaking. I got sent something from Muzza. What's up, Muzza? About Nick Aldis and some comments he made during an interview, which, we cover some, Japanese wrestling here on the show, on a fairly regular basis. And Aldis had an interview. He said he wants the fetishizing of Japanese wrestling to end. So he was on a show called Straight to Hell. I don't know who hosts that. I think Cultaholic, I believe. He said, I really want to qualify this point because, he knows the clickbaiters are going to pick this up and turn it into something it's not. But I need the Western wrestling's obsession with Japanese wrestling just to calm down a little bit. I've wrestled in Japan and I love going to Japan, but I'll be honest with you. I don't love wrestling in Japan because it hurts. It's really physically taxing, and I don't get the same adrenaline rush from it because the audience doesn't react. It's like I'm killing myself and it's light clapping. What I mean by this, I understand and respect that they have their own thing, and there are some guys who are phenomenal, and there are some who are the best ever legends, but it works for their culture. It works for that audience. And I'm so over this snobby sort of misconception that is sort of bled over into the overall lexicon of modern wrestling that somehow, if it's Japanese, it's better. Like, this is how they do it in Japan. What I'm talking about is this almost fetishizing of anything that's Japanese, and somehow that makes it better. The ironic thing is you're working the audience because most of them have never been to Japan. They've never been in a Japanese audience. They're not Japanese. They've just been co-opted to believe, oh, it's Japanese, it must be better. I agree, or everyone else will think I'm stupid, or everyone will not think I'm elevated enough as a wrestling fan. I'm not knowledgeable enough. It's sort of this weird snobby sort of culture that exists now.
Okay, so he has some points overall. But what I would say is that they just have better matches. Like, at the top end, like, there's no knock against that. But, like, you look at the level of match you end up getting, in different places. Like not all wrestling is good because it's in Japan. Like I'm not watching that fucking DDT. I'm not watching Tokyo Joshi Pro or like Actress Girls when I can watch Stardom or New Japan instead, or even or whatever else I get a recommendation on. Like there's a lot of wrestling. And it's a lot of people that get to wrestle each other in ways that like don't happen on the major platforms here because of WWE swallowing up and putting people in tied up to contracts, so they can't wrestle each other in certain ways. So like, there's good wrestling all over the world. Like there's a lot of in Japan, yeah, because like look at the proximity of talent.
Yeah, like they're working with a deeper talent pool. They're working with superior training regimens that have been proven throughout history.
They're fundamentally better wrestlers. Like perfect example. We just talked about Lacey Evans being on the main roster for a year now, after being in NXT for however long, and then having a slight indies before she even showed up to the Performance Center in NXT, right? Is she better than Saya Kamatani, that's been wrestling since August in Stardom?
I would say no.
Okay, then. What are we talking about?
Yeah, like, and I don't know what he means by the fetishizing stuff. It's like, you watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, you watch Stardom. I mean, there are great workers like Kento Miyahara elsewhere,
right?
In a place like All Japan. It's like
Daisuke Sakamoto in Big Japan.
It doesn't have
Satomura in Sendai Girls. Maya Yuki in Ice Ribbon. Tsukasa Fujimoto in Ice Ribbon. Nanai Takahashi in Arisa Nakajima in Seedling.
It's not this fetish thing because you don't get it. Like it's not this fetish thing because like you don't understand like how these people are great and having whole ass careers over there. The only thing is more people can see it now. So like what happens is the people that ingest the best quality wrestling matches or whatever start getting new quality added to that. So it's like I don't get that. Like I don't know if Nick Aldis like is feeling underappreciated or something for what he does. I like what Nick Aldis does as a wrestler. Like I enjoy what he does, but it's like it comes off as he's very insecure, it sounds like, and he might have had a bad time in Japan or two that didn't work out. He didn't get brought back, and then it just seems like like Japanese in Japan, like they have a thriving wrestling culture. They have for fucking 40 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like I think, I mean, he's made some points about like, yeah, there is an elitist gatekeeper snobbish element to it. We talk about it all the time, right?
Good. Good. Like
I mean flat out, like it is very much like, okay, you're a wrestling fan, prove it by telling me like, which match you watched on like the shittiest like resolution ever. Like, you saw this match from you watched this All Japan match that is like basically in like 540p. Like that's how you're a wrestling fan. Like, nah, man. Like I watched this match because I was interested. I saw it. I enjoyed it. I would like to tell people that I saw a match. Like, if that is your frame of reference or whatever else, cool. Like, I see people all the time hop on Twitter and talk about how, like, the horsewoman or one horsewoman or whatever else at that point in time is, like, the best women's wrestler ever. And I'm just like, I was once in that position, like, years ago. I don't really kill them for what they don't know. But it's like, that's what it is. Like, everybody has different experiences with pro wrestling, and like there's no one way that's particularly the best. But what I will say is, like, there's a bunch of great wrestling around the world. I think that we were in a situation where like these people are fundamentally trained to be better at wrestling through repetition and practice. Like, you can become a wrestler in 6 weeks here.
Yeah,
you can't necessarily do that in Japan. In most places, most places, like, so, like, people are getting drilled, and a lot of people are getting ran off and whatever else in a way that, like, it kind of was back in the day when you were on, like, trying to learn how to wrestle in Vern's farm, and he was running you off by having you run 1,000,000 miles every fucking calisthenics every single day. Like, there is it's a little different in, like.
It's like you can pay your $2,000 and go to any fucking wrestling school around America. You can't just go to the New Japan dojo. Like, you have to like get accepted to the fucking dojo.
And there ain't no knock on that, but like it's just the outlier stuff. Like Malcolm Glad, we're talking about getting your 10,000 reps. you're closer to getting your 10,000 reps after going through that than going through what Westerners do as far as the training regimen. And does that mean that, like, you're never going to have some great matches? Hell no. Like, NXT and AEW prove that every single week. Like, that's like the best weekly episodic television I've ever seen, these two shows. So, like, nah, but this is, it's just different around the world, and cultures are different. Like, the part about the clapping thing is like, man, like, they don't clap like we do. Like,
they don't clap for you, Nick. They don't clap for you.
They clap for Nick at times. Don't do that. Like I get what he's trying to go for, but I find it like, and I think he has a point about, like, the fetishizing of Japanese culture, to where people either treat it like it's a weird thing. Either people think like Japan is like the most depraved, freaky shit ever, or it's like some fucking utopia. And like, nah, it's in the middle. It's in the middle. But I just enjoy a lot of Japanese wrestling, just like I enjoy a lot of American wrestling. I really don't think about it. I just think, like, look, man, all I'm looking for in your wrestling, regardless, is drama of people beating the piss out of each other, or the drama of a match wearing on people and how they emote that, the whatever added storyline elements they have from their wrestling, and
the physical talent of the matches,
people, the fundamental wrestling or whatever they're doing in the ring. Those are the three big things I'm looking for when I'm watching a wrestling match. Like, and that's not anything specific to Japanese wrestling or American wrestling. Like, look, man, ultimately everybody's running ropes when they shouldn't be, because they're trying to aspire towards a fake fake fight, right? So it don't matter. Like, so what are we talking about? I think, you know, maybe it's a thing where someone stuck in his craw that day and he decided to say that. I'm not holding this against Nick Aldis. I think Nick Aldis is a great promo and does so many things well that, like, should have been spotlighted on a higher level earlier, but it didn't work out for him, and he's doing his NWA thing, and he's doing as well as I imagine you can. And I feel like he's a person that's, like, doing the best he can, so I can't only, you know, say so much about him. Like, I've seen him have good matches. I've seen him have okay matches. I don't think he's a great wrestler. I think he's a good wrestler / a fine wrestler. I think he's better at the stuff outside of the ring than in the ring, and, like, in a different circumstance, different years, different era, he's a way bigger star than he is right now.
Maybe that's what he's feeling.
Good, maybe. Like, sometimes I think, like, you know, like, what if he was in AEW with Cody or whatever else? Sometimes. Do you ever think about that kind of stuff?
I mean, they got a rivalry they can do. Like, they can go right back to.
Hey, man, open the forbidden gate, Marty.
Open the NWA gate.
Yes, put Eddie Kingston out there. Even though we saw someone just like Eddie Kingston earlier on this show last night.
Yes.
But, yeah, man. I mean, you can't even hit the music. There's no Stardom news. So.
Yeah, no Stardom news. Like, no matches, no match gate. When is no match gate?
That is next weekend. So they will be going head to head the same weekend as Elimination Chamber. Gee, I wonder which pay per view is going to be better, or pay per view level show is going to be better. So they're going to air it on YouTube. Actually,
yeah. So if you guys like, this is a great opportunity to check some Stardom out. If you haven't before, you can watch it right on YouTube.
Yeah, you go to YouTube. I think it's going to air like 9:30 on Friday.
Okay.
Friday night. So yeah, because it's the 8th. Yeah, it's the 8th, so it'll be the 7th here. So yeah, I think it's Friday, either Friday or Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So you can check it out or whatever else. That's really all I got. So I guess that's the end of the show. Be sure to rate us on whatever app you're using to listen. Tell the folks about the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Be sure to check out our friends at Powerslam.tv, the sponsor of the show. If you're a fan of independent pro wrestling and you have over 5,000 hours of footage from all over the world, you can use the code Social Suplex to get your free month's trial. Don't forget to visit ProWrestlingTees.com/Social Suplex and pick up some official Social Suplex Podcast Network merchandise. Be sure to check out our other shows on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. On Sundays, finally Sunday, we have One Nation Radio. On Tuesdays, we have Keepin It Strong Style. On Wednesday, we have the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Podcast. On every other Wednesday, we have Run and Watch This Shit. On Fridays, we have Get in the Ring. And on Saturdays, we have All Things Elite. Thanks for listening. Later.
Peace.